Guys, looking at this Sunday's matchup against the Raiders, for just this one particular game, not for the rest of season, not for the rest of their careers, not for what they've done in the past, for just this Sunday, would you rather have Deshaun Watson or Gardner Minshew under center for your team?
Think about how pathetic that question is.
You said that on the morning call this morning. I said that out loud when I was looking at the rundown last night. I said, oh, my God, it's come to this.
It's a fair question.
And listen, I asked myself, is that a legitimate question? And the sad thing is, Bull, this is a legitimate question. That's where we are.
I feel like it is. You feel like it's not a legitimate question, I'm guessing.
I mean, nah. Like, I mean, you know, they both ain't playing well, so it's a legitimate question.
Minshew's ranked 29th.
Yeah,
in the current rankings.
Dan Pizzuta, the quarterback rankings, we decided we were going to follow.
Yes. And by the way, I think for the most part, he's got some big misses in there, I think. But for the most part, I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, so we decided we picked that one just so we could follow one, so we're just consistently following one. He's actually a lot lower on Watson. I'm not sure it was the greatest one if you're a Browns fan to pick and choose to follow. But in his Week 4 quarterback ranking, Steve, it's 284. He has Skylar Thompson ranked as the 32nd ranked quarterback. Deshaun at 31, Will Levis at 30, Gardner Minshew at 29, and Bo Nix at 28. So this is a matchup, according to Dan Pizzuta of the 33rd team, of 2 of the 4 worst quarterbacks in football.
What's funny to me is Bo Nix has had some success already. And he's got Caleb Williams. He did have him at like number 8. I don't know where he is now.
He's dropped significantly. He's like 24.
Well, he should have, but he had him in the top 10. And Bo Nix has looked serviceable. Like, I've seen things in Bo Nix that make me say, okay, there's something there. When I watch Caleb Williams, I've yet to say, oh, there's the spark. That's what they're seeing. I haven't seen that yet.
Do we like QBR? Do we think that's a good stat?
Again, I don't think anything's perfect, but
it's better than quarterback rating.
I think it is too. Yeah.
QBR at a 31 rated quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson is 30th.
Jeez.
Gardner Minshew's 24th, by the way. Baker Mayfield, 23rd.
So the reason I would say I would take Gardner Minshew is this. He played against this defense, although it was with a different team last year. He played against this defense last year and carved us up like a bad Thanksgiving Day turkey. He threw for 3 and ran for 2, if my memory is correct.
Ran for 1.
Ran for 1. I thought he ran for 2. Are we sure he only ran for 1?
Yeah, they didn't score 42 points. They only scored 35.
So he threw for 3 and ran for 1. That's crazy. Against the defense, by the way, that we all agreed was top 5. And he made us look like we were just off the bus.
He was the first quarterback to start with the read option stuff. Mm-hmm. They figured out that the Browns' aggressiveness just does not look good.
He used it against us.
Yeah, so that was the starter that actually happening. Gardner Minshew played well. Like, actually, be truthful, I thought they should have won that game. It was a couple of calls that later on in the game that went the Browns' way, ironically.
Didn't they have a throw into the end zone at the end that they nearly completed that would have beat us?
Yeah. Now, it's close. I mean, Gardner Minshew, to put it in perspective, I had him on one of my fantasy teams, to be truthful. I picked him up, but let's not forget that people thought that he could have got benched this week.
There was some talk that he was going to be benched.
Talk he was going to be benched this week.
I've wondered, if the deciding factor wasn't his success against the Browns last year.
And the backup is a statue. So they want to move a little bit with that. I would take Deshaun Watson, but it wouldn't be like, I'm 1,000% sure Deshaun Watson's going to play better than Gardner Minshew. I would take him because, Deshaun Watson has more of a track record of being good besides Gardner Minshew. I will say this, and I've kind of rethought this, and, I was laying around yesterday, was looking on the internet, and this was kind of crazy to me, and it dawned on me. Back when I was in college, I came from McKinley. We won 2 state championships.
You won a national championship.
Yeah, won a national championship, and I got to OU. And half of me, the whole first year I was there, I was actually mad and upset that I was there. I'm like, man, this is crazy. I ended up being here.
Where would you have gone if not for OU?
So my other visits was I had a visit playing with Marshall. My last visit was Michigan, Wisconsin, and Cincinnati. But I was so mad.
Wait, did you take those visits?
No.
Oh, why not?
Because they're slotted based on like how bad they want you.
Availability. Yeah.
So they're like, yo, they scheduled these other visits above guys, and I had already been to these camps, and like I was already rated higher than them. And then they're like, we're gonna bring this guy in. So I was immediately on my Baker Mayfield. I was like, nah. So I went to the first place, and they were like, yeah, you're the highest recruit we ever had. They opened the doors. I loved the coach. I thought what we was talking about, and he was just like, you could prove a lot of people wrong. So I was just like, I'm gonna take that. Like, I'm gonna go here. I ain't even taking the rest of my visits.
That's what OU said.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so the rest of the like the people would say, you're not taking the visits. Like even the recruiting magazines was like, so you're just you mean you're going to OU? And I'm like, yeah, that's where I'm going. So like I get there and we go, and my freshman year we go 1-10. And
what were they the year before?
When I got there?
No, your senior year when you decided I'm going to OU. What do you remember? What their record was that year?
They had won 7 games that year.
So they were a winning program when you committed.
Yeah. So then, then they had a great coach. Jim Groban eventually went to Wake Forest. Right. They won the ACC. So I'm like, I love the coaches. And one of the coaching staffs, the first coaching staff that was there, shout out to Coach McCartney. I don't know where he's at, Ray McCartney. He's just like, listen, that guy over there is special. We we run defense. That guy is coming to take one of these seniors' positions, right? And he used to just, he's like, listen, don't tell nobody this. He's like, bro, I don't listen. I get paid for you to get sacks. I don't get paid for you. Listen, they might check your class, but as long as you doing what you need to do on this field, I don't care what the heck you do.
Wow.
And I was like, touche. So at that point, I made sure that I went to every class because I felt like I didn't want him. Like, I felt like that was a respectful thing for him to say to me, and I didn't want to make him look bad. So I just went all out. We lost. Long story short, we went 1-10. And my brother, who was in high school at the time, came up, and he was visiting. And we was in the dorms, and I'll never forget this. And he pulled me aside. Now, this is my younger brother. He pulled me aside and said, yo, hey, man, what happened? I said, what you mean what happened? He said, man, this ain't the G. Bush I knew.
Why'd you come here?
And he said, bro, you here, you just out here going through the motions. He said, bro, I'll never forget this. He said, bro, they don't pay you to be in your gap. And I said, oh, snaps. I had to go back and reflect on it. The losing and being around other people that was always losing and guys being happy that they was there.
Apathy breeds apathy.
And he said, I had to realize, he said, bro, where your stats? Where your dances? Where your visor? Where your celebrations? Why your cleats look like that? Why are you even letting him touch you like that? The girls you talk to is subpar. They're 5s. You used to only mess with 9s and 10s. What happened, G. Bush? And I had to stand back and I said, you can learn something from somebody anywhere. Long story short is, Deshaun Watson, it ain't going to get no better. Somebody need to pull your coattail and tell you, hey, bro, they don't pay you for running play action. They pay you for making big-time plays. And if you don't make no big-time plays, and if you ain't going to be special, and I don't care, just to your point, it's a decoy. Forget a decoy. Ain't nothing to decoy. I decide where I'm going to throw the ball. If Kevin Stefanski is telling you, hey, we just need you to be regular, that ain't going to turn out well. They don't pay you to be regular. You better be special. And you better say, I'm okay with making mistakes, trying to be special. But the quickest way for you to lose football games and the quickest way for you to take L's is to have Amari Cooper up there answering questions. Amari Cooper don't answer questions. He catch footballs. They paid you to be special. You have to be the special one. And so the rest of the season, the line play ain't going to be better. Nick Chubb is whatever it's going to be. But listen, man, the only way the Cleveland Browns, people say you need to do what you need to do to win football games. Well, Deshaun, knock. Big homie over here, G. Bush said, hey, listen, the only way y'all going to win any games is if you be special, not regular.
That's very true. That's well said.
Good story.
I like it.
Did it fire you up?
Oh, after that, man, I went to practice.
Yeah.
And like when he told me that, like it changed the way I was thinking. I went to practice and I had to start thinking about practice like I used to think of practice. Practice, when I got redshirted or when I played at McKinley, like, you know, I was upset that Mike Doss was playing ahead of me. I was that arrogant. Like Kenny Peterson is a professional athlete, 2-time defensive player of the year. I told my dad, I said, yes, I'm not transferring to Massillon. They're gonna have to put me no. Like my family members came to the games and said, if you don't do nothing, we ain't never coming back. Think about that.
Wow.
It's like, if you don't play well, one game, we're never coming back to this. This is parents. And I balled out that game, and the rest is history. But I shout out to my brother and other people. For anybody out there, regular don't get paid. People want you to be regular. Don't you do it.
Were you guys okay? I'm sure you talked about it. Were you guys okay with Deshaun's comment earlier this week? I'm not a running back. Were you okay with that?
I don't know that we heard that comment.
I didn't hear that.
He talked yesterday. He just was asked.
That was an interesting
if
comment.
he wants more.
Do you want more design runs? And he said, no.
No.
I'm not a running back. I don't want to run
I don't have
football.
a problem with that. I agree with him.
Listen,
a lot of fans did.
Hey, guess what? On the contrary, that's the only way they're gonna win. They better put that
That's what I thought too, G. Like, I understand that you probably don't want to come out and say that, but if I hit sliders and my average on sliders is 450, and that's what's made me a better baseball player. Mm-hmm. I want to hit sliders. I want to hit as many sliders as I can get. Throw me sliders. I want to hit them.
Right, but he can't move like he used to.
Well, see, that takes me to my next question.
No.
Are we ready to say that physically, the Deshaun Watson that won a national championship at Clemson and that looked like an MVP caliber player in Houston, that skill set is gone forever at 29? Mm-mm. Are we ready to say that?
I think it might be.
I saw it play in the
Really?
game.
Yeah, I think it might
you
be.
probably seen
That's
this
alarming
play.
if it is, Bull.
Yes.
Because that's why he's here.
McNuggets, you've seen a play where
Which one?
The play where it's actually on the drive in which they scored a touchdown. He had a man open on his one play. He just said, I'm Deshaun Watson. I'm going to get up I'm in the hole. I'm going to hit you with a juke move. I'm going to hit it with a speed cut. Now it's me and one-on-one. Listen, that's a gain of 14, 15 yards and scrambling after he got hit all day. No, that's still in there. His escapability is still in there.
He made some plays against the Jaguars.
I saw
against
some.
one-on-one defenders. Real quick, though, Bull, you never got a chance to answer this question.
Yeah,
Minshew or Watson?
I honestly, it's hard because I wouldn't want to have either right now, but I guess I'd go with Gardner Minshew. I mean, he played very well in the fourth quarter against the Ravens in what is the best win that either of these teams has had. He led them on 3 scoring drives, including a touchdown pass to Devontae Adams when they were down, I believe, 10 to the Ravens going into the fourth quarter or early in the fourth quarter. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but I guess right now, this moment in time, he said for just this game, I guess I'd rather have Minshew. Sucks.
See? Hey, like that's just, and you know what? Maybe that get into your psyche. Maybe that get you going because that's what the conversation is at this point.
Gee, I keep hoping that something, because he hears everything. I keep hoping that he's going to hear the right thing that sparks the G. Bush freshman year OU.
Yeah, he needs that.
I keep hoping that while he's hearing this criticism, instead of dismissing it and having a burner account, if that's what he did, and answering these people in a silly way, just go ball out. Go be Deshaun Watson, Houston Deshaun Watson. Go do that. And I'm sure it's not for a lack of want, but maybe he's not putting in enough film study. Maybe he's not putting in enough. He's missing open receivers too. He's missing open receivers, and that's an issue. So is he working hard enough? I remember when Hugh Jackson was the coach in Baker's rookie year. Hugh Jackson was good at head games. And he said to Baker one day in training camp, what time did you get here? Baker said, 10 o'clock. Ready to go on the field, 11 o'clock. He said, you see that guy over there? He's here at 7. You need to be here more. You need to get here earlier, and you need to stay later. And Baker talked about how that he kind of asked himself a question, well, I guess I'm not doing enough. And I keep wondering, where is that watershed moment where Deshaun Watson hears the right piece of criticism or reads the right piece of criticism, and he doesn't get defensive, and he self-inspects, and he said, wow, so I'm now Gardner Minshew. It's time to put on my cape and take off these horn-rimmed glasses and go play like Superman.
And you know, like he has to realize it's on him. This is the point in which it's either fight or flight, bro. It's all on you. The offensive line is what it is.
It's not going to get better.
It's not going to get better throughout the season. You need to make sure that when there's a play to be made, you got to look at it. I got to make that play. And the answer should have been when he was talking about it, do you want more design runs? And he said, no, I'm not a running back. He should have said, whatever I got to do.
That's what I wanted to hear him say.
If I got to
what's going to make this team better?
Right. If I got to run it,
instead he was like, nope, I don't want to do that. I'm not a running back.
I do think the offensive line could get better as the season goes. We'll see.
If they get healthier, they will.
Yeah, right. But also, like, no matter how much you're getting sacked, let's say you get sacked 10 times. Well, and I know that sounds crazy, but so if you're a good quarterback and you get sacked 10 times, and you know, hey, I don't have the same opportunity that Patrick Mahomes does because he's getting better protection. Well, I got to take more advantage of the times where I don't get sacked and I don't get pressured. There's not as many, but I got to be great in those moments when I have the opportunity. And he hasn't been.
It's a great point. We asked the same question last week. Are we 100% sure that Deshaun Watson's going to be the best quarterback on the field? And we all said, well, you can never be 100% sure, but yeah, he's better than Daniel Jones. No, he's not.
Well,
I watched Daniel Jones again last night do what today's NFL dictates he do. Quick drop, throw.
Yeah, but he did.
Quick drop, throw. Well, his numbers were, he completed like 65, 70% of his passes.
He can't throw deep.
Dunks. Yeah,
But listen.
That's what it is.
We're going to dismiss dink and dunks. Look at Patrick Mahomes.
Jay, but that's the league I'm not dismissing dink and dunks. I'm saying he can't throw the deep ball at all. He's the worst deep ball thrower in the league.
Bull, 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
In today's NFL, not even Patrick Mahomes is throwing deep balls.
No, but they had deep shots that could have been touchdowns with
he
better
couldn't
throws,
make the
and he
throws.
missed them.
Daniel Jones stinks.
Daniel Jones is doing what today's NFL is giving him.
I mean, he's 1-3. And they're 1-3.
He is, but you know what? When you look at his completions, I want that out of our guy. I want that out of our guy.
Fine, but like Daniel Jones is not doing anything special. He's just
No,
better than
he's
Deshaun
not.
Watson.
The reason I bring that up is he has adapted to what the league is going to give him. It's not. Look, nobody's scoring 30 points a game anymore.
I mean, look what Dak did. It wasn't crazy. He get highest paid.
Dak's doing the same damn thing.
Dak is the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Didn't get any touchdowns. It was all field goals. So
I understand that, but that means he had 5 scoring drives yesterday.
He was better than Deshaun Watson last week. I didn't think Daniel Jones was very good yesterday, but I mean Malik Neighbors is ridiculously special.
And he's also hurt now.
Nah, he just had a concussion.
Did you see the clip, though, that was circulating last night out of the Giants' locker room? I think I saw it on CBS.
Yes, Brian Burns asked him.
Was doing an interview, and he goes, yeah, how you doing, Nabe? And he said, or Leak, I think he called him.
He called him Leak.
And he said, not good. And he goes, not good? Oh, okay, yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of a transparent interaction.
He put a